Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the chance that you have given to me. My name is Hajrun and I'm a student from UPI Bandung. On this beautiful occasion, I would like to present my presentation, which is titled Military English Instructors Strategies in Teaching Reading Comprehension, ESP context. The scope of this presentation will be divided into four sections. They are introduction, method, finding and discussions, lastly conclusion. There are four foundations in this study as one of framework that helped me in conducting the research. First, reading. Reading is a process of looking a media that has written symbols, and each of the symbol has meaning and make our brain change them into word, sentences, or even paragraph that can communicate something to us. Wallace, in 2004, classified the reading concepts into three ways: interaction between the writer, the text, and the reader, and each of which. It means the interaction between the writer and the reader minds, which the reader tries to get the meaning of the message from the writer. Nuttall in 1996. Second, reading comprehension. The strategies start from how the skills and process are set up to underpin text representation. Oak Hill in 2015, they are the mental model of the text. Second, activating word meanings. Third, understanding and linking sentences. Fourth, making inference. Next is comprehension monitoring. Six, the role of memory in reading comprehension. Third, teaching reading strategies. Teaching reading strategies that will be used in this study have been conducted by some researchers who share some theories review on this topic. One of the theories is how Block and Israel in 2005 summarized the reading strategies to improve reading comprehension by predicting, visualizing, making connections, summarizing, questioning, and inferring. Last, ESP. English Specific Purpose, or ESP, is an approach to course design and teaching that target learners with a common goal or purpose in learning English. In this part, I would like to give you some information on how English is important to military personnel. There are three sectors of strategies in English commonly used by military personnel. First, conducting joint exercises with other national forces where the communication in the combat training among the personnel is used English. Second, peacekeeping operations. It is widely known that English has become the only option for military personnel to communicate and socialize with local communities where they are deployed in some mission. Third, the military personnel must be able to maintain their weaponry system. One of the procedures that they must handle is reading the manual document procedures. It happens because the primary weapon system is commonly equipped with a manual document that is written in English. From these sectors, I conducted small research to know how the military English instructors applied their strategies in teaching reading comprehension. Based on my observation, some military personnel have problems handling their capability to read the manuscripts written on the document, user manual, or even some military terminology. They understand the manual by memorizing and relying on what they have learned from their superiors at the respective units. They know the meaning of the reading text in general without knowing how specific meaning is given to them. They still put their experience as a basic knowledge in reading manual procedure text whenever they have a reading session in the English classroom, especially in the context of the English for Specific Purpose, or ESP. As military instructors, Knowing the appropriate method for teaching reading and conducting the lesson based on the students' needs enable their students to cover problems in reading comprehension text and fill the gaps that comes up. It also makes the students comprehend and master the reading skill, especially in reading comprehension. Therefore, the method that I use in this study is the qualitative approach. The research participants of this study involved two English military instructors at one of the training squadron in the Indonesian Air Force. The data collection procedure in this study start from the observation stage to know the reading comprehension strategies that military instructors commonly use in the class. I took part as the observer by joining the learning process in the classroom, and I took notes and recorded the teaching learning process to get the data in more detail about the classroom process. The participant instructors were chosen because they had the experience to develop the English proficiency for the military personnel and train the student abilities in learning and communicating by using English military terminology. Next is interviewing the instructors to know more detail about their reading strategies used for the teaching learning process, starting by interviewing two participant instructors and explain to them the purpose of the interview. I assume that interviewing is particularly useful to get the story behind a participant's experiences. The interview is conducted to discover students' problems in handling the reading skills and the teaching method. The last one is the document analysis. It included text and images recorded based on the institution approval where the research is conducted. Document analysis can provide supplementary or additional research data, and it is beneficial for mass research because the document analysis provides the background information and is helpful to contextualize the research. From the finding that I found, there are three strategies used mainly by two military instructors in teaching reading comprehensions. Let me start with scaffolding. Conducting the reading comprehension in the class, two instructors, Lieutenant Sudarto and Sergeant Moko, had the same strategies to start their lesson. They start the lesson by applying the scaffolding method to get students' attention. The way how they conducted the method was different. Lieutenant Sudarto began the class by giving his students questions about their plans for the weekend. The questions were not difficult to answer because it was related to their daily activities. Some answers were recorded on the whiteboard, and he tried to connect with the lesson that he wanted to deliver. Later on, he asked his students to open their book and read a specific text related to their previous discussion. Along with the lesson continued, the instructor guided his students by reading the text first, and the students repeated the text. The purpose of these activities was to make the students read the text and adapt to the vocabulary of the text. In the same way, Sergeant Moko started the lesson by giving the questions to his students related to the topic of military sport. He combined the questions with retelling stories about his daily sport in his office. It gave a relaxed situation for the class because the instructors helped his students to find the answers. He asked his students to choose which sport they liked most and told the instructors why they liked those sports. From this, I looked at the classroom situation was attractive because the instructor gave many opportunities to talk freely. The purpose of these activities was to make students relax, and the lesson was not straight to the reading session. Next is audiovisual method. Both instructors used this method to make the lesson was effective and created interest for learning the reading comprehension among the students. Moreover, it was proven when the instructors use audiovisual to integrate the topic of discussion on the audio-video technology age. Uh, the use of technology, especially in the reading comprehension, was obviously helpful for the instructors in stimulating and facilitating the goal of the reading comprehension. Lieutenant Sudarto used pictures, flashcard, and print materials and show them on the LCD screen to get students' attention and help him deliver the teaching process effectively. It created the students' interest in learning reading comprehension. Like Lieutenant Sudarto, Sergeant Moko applied and delivered his lesson by integrating the material with the smartboard. He guided his students to maximize the use of technology in understanding the topic of the reading. It made his students active, and the instructor could develop the understandable learning material. And the last one is grammar translation method. Both instructors applied the grammar translation method to deliver reading comprehension. They asked their students to read the text and find what they did not understand or difficult to answer. If they didn't know the meaning, the teacher explained the specific word or even a movement such as gesture to represent the word's meaning. Both instructors help their students by translating the words from English into Bahasa Indonesia to easily catch the meaning of the words and understand the main idea of the text. From the interview that I had conducted, they assigned the grammar translation method because the level of the students was elementary and it needed some effort to make them understand the lesson. The method was the only way to give a set of clear lesson objectives that the students understand and comprehend with their reading text. All the findings above gave me a lot of information from what the instructors conducted in their classroom. The instructor designed the lesson plan to guide them in deciding the method or what they should do in front of their students. The instructors start the lesson with their strategies and had a different style in delivering the reading lesson. The writer was not only observing the instructors but also observed the students' responses. It found that some students got problems when the instructors asked to answer the question from the book. Some of them felt confused and could not answer the questions. Moreover, the instructors tried to break down the question into the simplest ones to answer them. The study displayed that scaffolding and grammar translation are the strategies commonly used by military instructors in conducting reading comprehension. In conclusion, reading is kind of a multiple text in daily military life. The text related to the manual book of weaponry system has become a natural habit for military personnel to ensure their tools are well maintained. Some problems appeared on the military personnel when they tried to understand and comprehend the manual text procedure because they used to memorize and rely on what they had learned from their superiors. Therefore, it needs some appropriate method for them to cover their problem in reading comprehension. The military instructors commonly applied the strategies of reading comprehension by using scaffolding, audiovisual, and grammar translation methods to help their students as maximum as they can, so the students can reach their goal to have a good ability in comprehending the texts that relate with their profession as soldier. That's all from me. If you have questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.